Hey YouTube, this is Firewizard23. I just wanted to do a quick little video here, and I wanted to talk about what I've been doing lately, specifically with my financial budget. So what you're seeing are some figures on your screen right now that are showing my September budget. And it's a little bit larger this month because I am paid every other I have two jobs still. I am paid every other Thursday by one job, and I am paid every Friday by the other. So, as it turns out in September, there are actually 3 Thursdays that will land. The 1st, the 15th, and the 29th. So, I'm actually getting like this huge boost. It's like $730-something I get every 2 weeks. So, I'm getting this huge boost in the budget this month. And this is wonderful because this is going to help me pay off credit cards. I currently have, I just paid off, and everyone can totally give cheers and claps. I just paid off my first of my credit cards, and I'm actually very, very happy by doing this very similar system. But now we're going to be doing something a little bit different, where I am going to be changing to an all-cash budget, because what was happening before, and it's just simply circumstance of how I am paid, is I would write down on paper my budget categories. I'm going to do a little highlight here. These are the 7 particular budget categories: groceries, gas, laundry, eating out, CVPH, personal, and miscellaneous. That's the hospital I work for. So what I do is those categories are written down, and as I buy something in that category, I simply, by hand, I would simply subtract it on paper. I would also have to note it, if necessary, in a place where I spent it. So, for example, if I spent it in my checking account, I would have to deduct it from a checking, and how I use my checking, I also have a system by which I indicate that I have a credit card charge that has to be paid off. Actually, give me a sec here. Okay, I hope I've done this right. What you're looking at is my checking account. You're looking at basically the ups and downs of my checking account. And see the ones that are in black? Those are things that I charge to my credit card. And what I do with my budgeting is that money has yet to be removed from my bank account. I have indicated that it needs to, but it hasn't come off yet. So when I spend that money, when I spent it on the credit card, I simply wrote it in here, and I just changed the color to black. That just tells me that there's something that's lingering on a credit card. It's like my, kind of like my everyday use credit card, just so I don't have to use my bank card. And, or if I don't actually have the cash at the moment to spend. So what will happen is, like, in a few days, I'll just simply go to my credit card account, and I'll just simply pay it off, and boom. And I'll just change those back to the appropriate color. And what you see here is like a maroon. I'll just change it back to that. And then I can't overspend my account because I've already indicated I've already wrote it down that it's gone, basically. It's how that works. So, I just wanted to show that off real quick, just so you kind of get an idea. So what was happening is, prior to having a whole cash budget, I was having to write down things in the checking account that came off a credit card, as well as having to write it in my written log that something came out. So, like, I spent something in groceries. I go to Price Chopper, and I spend $40 in groceries on my credit card, and because I don't have cash with me at the moment, because I just haven't been paid yet. The money is going to be there in the budget for the month because I'm working, but I just don't have the actual physical money. So I write it down in the budget book, and I write it down here in black, and then I have to later go on and pay it in the credit card, and too many steps. So what has happened, because of the serendipitousness that, because my first pay period for the month happens to land on the first day of the month, I am going to actually set up budget envelopes. And what I've done, I just went to Amazon and I bought, using a premium system from Coke Rewards, I got a $10 coupon from Amazon, and I got Spenvelopes. Give me one sec here. And there they are, the Spenvelopes. Yeah, they were, let's see, they were $12, so I paid like $2 for them. Yeah, you could just use a regular envelope, but this makes it colorized and fun. And what I'm going to do is, I only need 5 of them, because, let me just go back here. I only technically need 5 of them for these categories, because the CVPH, that is actually a ratty little envelope that I have in my locker at work, that it's basically the money I can spend when I'm at work. then I make a point of not. Our cafeteria is very, very, what's the word I want? Pricey. Very, very pricey. Not that good, actually. So if I ever want to spend something at the hospital, I only give myself $5 and say, like, look, this is what you have. I just put a $5 bill in the little envelope, and that's it. We frequently have bake sales and, like, little donation charity things, so that just lets me have a little bit of money to do that with. Because inevitably, I have, like, a bad day sometimes. I just want to go get a drink or something, and that's fine. We also bring our own cups because our cafeteria charges 25 cents for a glass of water. I'm not kidding at all. And you pay 25 cents for your... if you got to use one of their cups, if ever you want to just get a fountain drink. It's really kind of stupid. But it's because they want to save money and help the environment, yada, yada. So the only things I ever need these new spend envelopes for are groceries, gas, eating out, personal, and miscellaneous. I should explain the laundry. Laundry, I have a box that I bought for a previous... why did I buy that? What are those little boxes? It's a little like 4-inch by 4-inch by 4-inch box I bought. And I honestly cannot remember what the point was. I think I was trying to store change in them, but now one of them has effectively become a quarter box. That every time I have quarters left over from things, I just simply put it in the box. I'm going to withdraw all of the money at the beginning of the month for my laundry, so I don't have to worry about if the laundry machine is not going to work or whatever. And I'll just get $35 in quarters. Well, actually, $30 in quarters, and I'll just have a $5 that, okay, I'll just have to do the $5 one time. But this way, I just simply have all the money right up front. And I'll just stay in the little box. Plus, I like to be nice that if I'm at the laundromat waiting for my laundry to finish, and there's somebody who's really having trouble with the laundry machines, I can just switch the quarters for them, just right there, and that's really cool. Like I said, I have groceries, gas, eating out, personal and miscellaneous. Personal and miscellaneous. Personal is if I want to buy something for me. It is a want. It is not a need. It is something I want. Miscellaneous is just any kind of thing that comes up in the month. Just something I need. For example, something that's really seems like it's going to be coming up this month will be I need to buy work pants. That is a need. So that would fall under miscellaneous. And unfortunately, miscellaneous also becomes the catch-all for I want to eat out, but my eating out budget is gone, so I have to use that. But it's miscellaneous. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want. Yeah. Also notice next budget envelopes. What I want to do this month, because that it's $430, by the way, these 7 categories here. I'm going to take that out at the beginning of the month, have all that money and set up the envelopes. At the end of the month, because I have a particularly large budget this month, I'm going to reset them back up. And then every preceding month, that money will still be hanging in the account, the $430. Like, I'll kind of have it as an overhang, and I will just simply refill the envelopes every month. That's the plan. You also notice we have a couple extra things here. I have my car insurance that I have to pay off this month. That is my 6-month premium, by the way. I pay $152 a month. It was actually $141, and it went up because I have a red car. That's basically what happened. I got a red car. And then we have what's left over that I put to my credit card, which is $460.58. That's what's scheduled for this month. It can vary. I have a system where... well, here's what happened when I used my credit card. And should I have to use my credit card for something that would fall in one of these categories, which shouldn't happen... well, for example, car insurance, I will probably use my credit card to make that payment, but then just send the money off to my credit card to pay it off, because I get points and stuff, and I get cool bonuses. What was happening before, and this will be something I'll have to think about how I'm going to do this, when I spent something for my budget, let's say I spent $2.73, I would round that up to $3 in the written budget, so I would actually take that away from the other budget, so there'd be money that's left over or lingering. So that additional money would end up getting put into this category and will go to the credit card. What I'm thinking of doing in this case, now that I'm changing to the cash system, is I'm probably going to keep that access and probably put it into savings, because you notice I have a savings here of $80. That is a $20 deposit every week. It just happens without me even knowing it. It just goes over there. If I need something for my savings, I've got it. You notice the other thing, I do have a Bank of America card here that has a payment going, but that's actually slightly above the minimum, because that was the original minimum, and then consequently constantly paying it off, the minimum's actually dropped, but I'm going to keep it at $54. That is an all-inclusive rent, by the way. I pay $525 for everything, literally. the place where I live, the electricity, the AC, the heating, the off-street parking, the garbage removal, the hot water, the cable, the internet. The only thing I do not have is laundry. That's pretty good. So I do that. There is my Visa payment. That is my student loan payment. I'm like in the 35,000 range for loan payments. I have that. And Bank of America card I talked about. Yeah, so that's it. And then, let me see if I can pull this up one moment. Here is the, oops, that's kind of mistyped there. Whoop. Corrections. Right there, so you know I'm human. There is the October budget, because my monthly income will have gone back to just, okay, there's going to be two Thursdays where I get paid, and then the 4 Fridays when I get paid, so I'll go back to the 1,700. Actually, let me just verify that real quick on a calendar here. Yep, that is correct. That's kind of one of the lower months, but that's okay, and you can kind of see how the budget kind of restores itself, and I'll still be on the cash budget at that point. Because again, at the end of the month, at the beginning of October, I will have at the end of September, I will have restored the envelopes. At the end of October, I will restore them again, and because then the money will just be lingering. And you notice the payment goes to $266. So yeah, that's what's been going on. That's my big goal for paying off my debt. I also have a wonderful, I've not talked about this, but I watched a video, I will put a link in the video description of, it's a video called Your Thrift Habits from 1948. You can find it on the channel Shaggy Locks, where it's an old informational video about budgeting and saving up for things, delayed gratification, all that stuff, by a young man who we're told is named Jack Firth. And what he is doing is saving up for something by having it, he's saving up for something by acknowledging where he's spending his money and choosing to spend it more wisely. And actually, give me one moment here. One more moment. Okay, I have no idea if I've got it in the right spot, but what you're looking at is the graph I have put on the wall of my apartment. That when you watch the video, Jack did a graph where he did it in a direct relationship. He did his line going up, where he's counting off the weeks in which he will be able to pay off his debt. Save up for something. What I decided to do is simply inverse the process. Why not simply do a chart that's going down? And I know you can't see it. I know you can't see it, and there's no way I can push it up, but on the bottom of this graph, what you see are the months that pass by of time. I did a rough estimate using a calculator, and I came up with, okay, if I kept this payment up over time, when would I, in theory, reach the end? And it did give me a cutoff of, like, I think it was 22 months it would take. A little less than 2 years. And yeah, I know you can't see it, but the final dot on the bottom says 8/18, August of 2018. So we're looking at a little under about 2 years where we could pay this off. It is it's like 5,600 is the city card, if you can see it on the left there. That's kind of where the dot is starting. But I will write my true line like Jack did, writing his true savings as he was going up. I'll simply write the true line, and unfortunately I don't have a picture of the debt I was doing, which was essentially a car debt, because when I bought my car for $1,200, was the third card in that previous series where I hit zero. I had predicted, I think I was going to be paying off till like January, and I actually just paid it off last month. So I was very, very happy about that. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening in September. That is my big budget plan, and I have to give a big shout out to GazelleinTents. I forget what video of theirs I saw first, but they were talking about budgeting and money and budget envelopes and the idea of a debt snowball, which is essentially what I'm doing to pay off my debts. Because the oh yeah, one moment, I can show that. Yeah, this is what was happening in August. We have the Bank of America card as well as the Citi card payment, and down here we have the Chase card payment where I was paying to Chase. And actually, thanks to money that was left over from the other categories, I was able to make the final payment of $218.15 was left over. And I was so, I cannot tell you the elation you feel while you've actually made the last payment. It was so awesome, and it really inspired me. It completely inspired me to say, you know what, this is doable. This is totally doable. I mean, look at where my money has gone now. Look, I mean, that's September, so it's a little bit of a big month. But then look what's happening this month. Next month, look how big this payment is. I'm so excited that I can really, really do this and be very aggressive about it. And take it seriously. And you feel so much better when you're in command of your money. I hope everyone's enjoyed this video. This is FireWizard23, and wow, I've rambled for a long time. But take care and bye-bye for now, everybody.